Hi everyone, my name's Kim Billington. Last year I wrote a book for child counsellors, parents and teachers, A Counselor's Companion. It went on to receive an Amazon #1 bestseller. My second book is me interviewing colleagues, counsellors, psychologists about their work with adult clients, and it's called Counselling Conversations. 10 powerful interviews with seasoned experts and a lovely illustration on the cover by Chris Monroe, and actually I think there's about 28 of his illustrations in the book, so every chapter has one or two wonderful illustrations. I'm a bit of a fan of having pictures in a book. I'm going to introduce Susan Konstantas. I interviewed Susan for chapter 4. She called the book chapter Outside My Comfort Zone, and she talked about how in her first session, and as we all know, we don't know what's going to come out in the first session. She says the main thing she wants by the end of the session is that person walks out of the door thinking, I felt understood, listened to, supported, and safe to talk about whatever issues I brought to the space. So that's what I love about Susan. She has this way to just bring it out into the simple way of explaining what counselling is. And as with most of the people I interviewed, they're very honest about things. Susan talked about the imposter syndrome, which is something, I struggle with, most people I know struggle with. And Chris Monroe did a beautiful picture that is in that chapter as well. Susan talked about how, it doesn't matter if the manager says, oh, you're an amazing counsellor, or her colleagues say, oh, you're wonderful at your work. Because at the end of the day, you've got to look at yourself in the mirror. And Susan says in the interview that she does stop and remind herself that actually what she's doing for a living is making a difference, and that the individuals she works with are finding the work they're doing with her helpful. So this book is this opportunity to reflect and acknowledge the work we do and bring that self-compassion and validation. And she also talks about when the client brings so much at once, so many different issues, where to start. And she said that she sees it like a bowl of pasta. You start anywhere. And she says eventually you'll figure out the main reason for them seeking counselling support. Sometimes it takes a bit of time. So Susan has this lovely matter-of-fact, sensible approach to counselling, which I really love. She also quite openly talked about those moments, a couple of moments in her career where Countertransference came up, and it came up when she felt hopeless. And she's, was able to talk about those 2 times in particular, and how really until those things happened in session, she'd always thought, what is this thing called countertransference, And, as a supervisor of counsellors and of Susan, I've watched her progress over the years, and these are wonderful conversations. Nothing's off the table with my counselling supervision work, so it's been great to work with Susan. And I'll just finish with a little comment she made about her use of acceptance and commitment therapy. She said, she explains it this way. Well, this is what happened, but you can choose to do what next. And every day is a series of choices. And I rather like that. Again, it's that simplicity of helping a client understand how we can bring a different approach, like ACT, into our work. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll look forward to reading Susan's chapter, Outside My Comfort Zone.